Hi, my name is Udit and I work in Germany as a finance manager. In today's video, we are going to try and understand what is common between performance reviews at work and your portfolio performance. And the common link between these two is the tendency that we have to take things personally. Yes, this is one mistake that we make in our professional lives as well as in our investment journey. Let us try and understand how it impacts our objectivity, makes us take emotional decisions rather than rational ones. First, let's talk about the professional part of it. When I started my career, I was dreading performance reviews. I used to dread it because I thought this is one point in the year where someone else would come and tell me what did I not do well in my job. And I used to dread it because I didn't like somebody telling me my mistakes. One day, one of my seniors, I was just having a very casual conversation with him, and then he mentioned a very profound point, which was that the feedback that you get in your performance review or in general from your colleagues, supervisors, or mentors at work is not the feedback on the person that you are, it is the feedback on the process, on the task that you're performing. So you should de-link your emotions with the feedback that you're getting. And this turned to be a game changer for me because I realized that there's nothing personal about it. It is on the way that I was performing the tasks. And if I take it as an objective opinion from someone who is closely observing my work and who has a different perspective on things than I have, I should welcome this as an opportunity for growth, wherein I am getting someone to review the task that I have done in a different way from different eyes. And as you gain more and more feedback, you tend to take it and work on it, and then that's how you improve. Personally, when I adapted this in my career, I started to take proactive feedback from my stakeholders, my supervisors, and also from my colleagues. And this helped me immensely because I was able to gain different perspectives on things that mattered. And this has helped me immensely in my career so far. So, we should not take things personally and always be open to feedback. And remember, like my senior said, that the feedback is on the process and not on the person. Secondly, let's try and understand how taking things personally impacts our portfolio returns and our financial well being. Most of us, we are enamored by our home country. We believe that the country that we belong to is the best performing market in the world, and we should only be invested in that country in that specific geography. Our patriotism comes to the fore in terms of investment strategy, and this is called home country bias. One thing that we forget in this strategy is that a large chunk of our lives is already tied to our home country. Our relationships, our careers, and our emotions are already tied to our home country, and then we are already invested there. Why not diversify across geographies and leverage opportunities that are there in the entire world? This reminds me of a funny quote about day drinking, which one of my colleagues mentioned a few years back. When I just casually mentioned that, how can you drink in the afternoon? Then he said jokingly that it's 6 p.m. somewhere in the world. This also applies to our investment philosophy. There's a bull market that is going somewhere in the world. If market A is not performing, then probably market B is performing. If market B is not performing, market C is probably performing. So we need to diversify across geographies to leverage the opportunities that the world has to offer. Also, we should not be emotional about the market of our home country. Sometimes what happens is that if there's a negative opinion about the market performance, about the market outlook for the future, then we see it as an attack on our national identity. We forget while doing that market is a place where all negative and positive opinions come together to trade these opinions. My positive opinion and your negative opinion all come together, and then there's a price that we agree to exchange these opinions. This is the fundamental of how the market operates. When we become emotional about these aspects, we go against the nature of the markets. We tend to make mistakes because we either tend to buy at very high prices or we end up selling at very low prices on the basis of our emotions and these news flows. So, the idea is to de-link your national pride with the stock market returns. If the market does not do well for a specified period of time, it does not impact your culture, your history, your civilization. And the market returns are not representative of your national pride. So, we should learn to de-link our emotions with our national pride. And that is how we will be able to become more objective and more mature individuals and investors. And the opinions in the market change in a very short span of time. It does not take a lot of time for the narratives to shift. For example, in late December and early January, everyone was talking about American exceptionalism. People were saying after a strong bull run in the US markets that nothing is going to happen to the US. US markets will continue their outperformance in 2025. And 2 months later, as the tariff situation became more complicated, there were certain disruptions that were caused. Now everyone has a very negative outlook towards the US markets. Has something changed about the country? Has something changed about the civilization? Has something changed about the culture? Has something changed about the nature of the businesses that they're operating in? No. What has changed is the opinion of the market participants. And our goal as mature investors should be to stay away from this emotional outlook and take decisions on the basis of our own rational investment hypothesis. We may be wrong, and that is the part of the process, but we should always remember that whatever decisions that we are making are more from the rational point of view and not from an emotional point of view. And once we start taking this approach in our professional lives and in our investment journey, we become more mature professionals and investors and grow in the process. I hope this message was clear. I hope this made sense. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to share it with the friends. And always remember the mantra that I keep on quoting: keep walking and remember that growth is life. Thank you.